CT side, and they're going to start on that CT side too. So we'll see if things have been, I guess, sharpened up on the side of the French.
Well, we see the Shocks and Kenny S play well on the first map. If they can continue that, that'll be a good sign moving forward for G2. But it's going to be early fights coming in. Searson doing a little bit of damage onto Kenny, who's forced away. And so Sprout early on here have got map control. They've got the connector, they've got middle. At this point, G2 needs to hold on to the A-bomb site.
Ominik's the only one who's playing in a forward position here over towards restrooms and balloons. Might get the drop on a certain few players. Gets 2 there. That's pretty well done. A 3rd as well. Well, that's all you can ask for out of Ominik. He had a bit of a, I guess, ring rust. Problem starting his engine over that B-bomb site on Dust 2, but he's really gotten into his groove right now.
Yeah, still finished with a heap of kills.
Yeah.
And I was kind of thinking, when were they? Like, when
How did that happen?
Yeah. But it ended up just having huge multi-kill runs, and so good start here. 3 kills coming in immediately. Mirbit and Kido desperately hoping a mistake comes in from G2, something that just opens up the run slightly for them back into this, but 45 seconds left, still plenty of time to work with. And they're slowly making their approach in towards the A-bomb site. Kenny spots one towards long, but Kito instantly on the headshot. And there's still a chance here for Sprout as they start to make their way back in. Kito with a bomb, tries to get that planted for his teammate inside of the toilets.
Yeah, the one issue for Sprout, even if they do get the bomb plant down here, is going to be the flank coming in from Jax eventually. Good to see how patient G2 is going to be. They do have a defuse kit on Shocks as well. Jax is actually just going to be a little bit too, well, you could say too late, you could say too early to catch a rotation. Now they're going to assume that most of the players on the Sprout side is actually towards line. They're going to be somewhat correct about that, but it's not planted for Mirbit, so they kind of have to assume that somebody's going to swing around from restrooms.
Well,
there we go.
It's one for Kido, but traded right back by Jackson. So Mirbit, they know exactly where he is. The defuse coming through is going to be chasing this one down as quickly as he can, but the kit's still there. He pulls it off. There must have been a millisecond on that.
Oh, and the fact that they're able to bring that back, that is incredible work from Sprout. That was a, what, 2v4?
Yeah, I think it was either a 2v3 or 2v4, because I think there was a 1-for-1 trade. Still very difficult nonetheless, and this is the start that G2 had, and they still managed to lose it.
Fluffed that one for sure. Kido with an excellent job landing that headshot onto Kenny. That kind of sets everything up, because you can see that Shoxy was posted in a bit more of a passive position. Kenny's just meant to jump for information, see if he can spot anyone out. Then there's going to be pop flash over towards long. That's how they were planning to work it, but Kido with a precise shot takes him out immediately. Shock's not able to respond right away. So Sprout get a much-needed good start here. Now we'll see if they're going to be able to convert. There's no investment on the side of G2 this time, though.
Well, Sprout making sure that they limit the positions of G2 as they start to come in the utilities there. Smokestorm Molotov for Optimus, and the bomb can get planted. And so G2, it's a conga train coming in here with all the USPs. They'll see what they can get done in towards this A-bomb site.
Might be tough to grab any sort of weapons from Sprout. They're keeping themselves fairly tucked together. Well, G2 are going to do their own little long push here. Mirbit might be in for a bit of a rude awakening. Finds one. And there's just too many people to deal with.
Ooh, Searson's only got a P250 here.
Yeah.
He's saving for the AWP.
Gets dinked up as well. A lot of damage happening as Speedy comes in from behind. So they do clean it up in the end. Solid round from Sprout there to deal with the anti-eco. Basically setting up the entirety of the team towards long. And it makes sense as well. You know, that likelihood of you going up against something that's really strong on range, not too likely. As you see the GG.bet odds, or who's going to take out this or take this map as we come towards an end. G2 favored so far, 1.84. This is Sprout's 1.89, and this is G2's map pick.
Yeah, super close again, which is always good to see.
Should lead to a good game.
Yeah, Searson had the option there to get the open armor, but decides to go into the Mach 10.
Well, Kido kind of dropping the ball on that Molotov. That's going to allow for Lucky to get into a good position. He's going to find 2. Easily gets a 3rd as well. Shox is there to finish Speedy off.
Well, Murbit and Searson trying to pull off the 2v4. The bomb is in the middle of the B bomb site, so it's going to be very difficult to recover that, especially with Shox just covering it like a bird to its egg. You look off towards short. Smoke comes in as well.
Yeah, they've lost rounds like this before,
Yeah,
G2.
they have.
So they can't feel too comfortable. Kenny is going to go on a bit of a fact-finding mission.
Flash.
Gets confirmation on at least one. Doesn't see the other play crossover, but will strafe over to find Mirbit. While Searson, Mac 10 versus 4. It ends about as well as you could expect in that kind of scenario.
Yeah, you don't really see that being pulled off too often. Although 2-1, G2 get themselves their first on the board. And Sprout, they can go for the buy again here. They have got enough for the full buy. The AWP coming in onto Searson as well. So they have that op to work with up to challenge against Kenny S.
Yeah, I think that's Speedy dropping it for Searson, so he can get utility and armor. Everybody sharing their wealth on the side of Sprout. I think we're going to need to rely on Searson as well to find something for the Germans. There's a Mac 10 on Mirbit and Galil on Keto. Not the ideal entry fragging weapons.
So Sprout going in towards a default. Very similar playstyle on towards Dust 2 as well. They want to make sure that they are in position. They've got everything going the way that it should be. Getting information to make their informed decision on where they want to go.
Oh, Mirbit. Curious if that sound cue is going to, well, make Jax push aggressively. He's actually going to fall back. Not really sure what that Molotov was meant to do. Just potentially be, I guess, a safe pathway for him to back out, but nothing comes of it in the grand scheme of things.
I guess it could cover off the vision of a player looking through.
Yeah, that is true.
So you can get further back, but Keto making his way up through connector. Searson trying to play contact in towards A long.
Yeah, you have the three-man set up here over towards A with a bit of a bait and switch. Actually, Shoxy's going to join up with Amanek. Might try to boost some, be a little bit aggressive. See if we can find some information, because they're playing pretty blind as of right now. All they know is that Mirbit's been hanging out outside of B, but that doesn't really tell them a whole lot.
Yeah, and it's not just Mirbit there. No, everyone is coming over there for Sprout, it seems. You've got one player left over towards A, that's Speedy. And Amanek just spotted him. He's got the kill. Speedy had no idea. Jax takes away Favorite as well. This is falling apart for Sprout. All the kills come in from G2. Searson gets one, make it two as he doubles up. Walks into the B-bomb site, though, with the smoke in his hand. And Kenny will take 2 kills. Good stuff there from G2 in the end. But Sprout, they kind of fell flat early.
Yeah, they did. Speedy getting found on the rotation is going to allow for Amanek to swiftly come behind. It allows for G2 to basically put all their focus on that B-bomb site. And you could tell Jackson lucky with a solid setup to work off each other. More or less destroys any sort of plan that Sprout had of getting into that B-bomb site. So first pause of the game, assuming this is on Sprout's end. They don't have any money to buy up here, but again, not being able to win that first buy run sets them on a bit of a back foot. Well, actually, full investment from Mirbit. Okay, then. See if they have anything special in store for us. Faven's not even buying up as well, so we might see attempts at double up. Oh, okay, I say that.
They always wait until you say it. And then
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Want to make me out to be a fool here, apparently. Speedy not going to opt in for light Kevlar, even though he has 900. Oh, there we see. I guess should be around that G2 takes control of without too much of an issue, but we'll see if there's any surprises in store. Amanek with a nade onto Speedy. Takes 25 damage. A bit of a lull. And during that lull, what you guys can do at home is head over to csgo.net and use code Cologne, C-O-L-O-G-N-E, all capital letters, to get 30% more balance and win some cool skins while you're at it. As we wait to see if Sprout can actually do this as well.
It's almost like you have to expect Kenny to get 1 kill from this angle.
Yeah. Should be able to drop off as well and stay safe. He does have, I think it's Amanek playing a little bit ahead of him as well to take the brunt of the action if something were to go down. Actually smokes off Kenny, but...
Yeah. He's looking over the top of the smoke at this point. We'll look back towards toilets. Flashbang is good from Sprouts. That's going to force him in towards the back of the site. Peeks into the open though, gets one. Nearly the second, but falling apart here. Sprout not getting too much done at all. Good hold early. Never gets one kill, but Shock's rotates over. 2 kills collected, and a 3-round streak coming in for G2.
Not bad at all. 3-man setup working out swimmingly for the French team, and they've been able to maintain a fair few numbers as well throughout these early rounds. You can see Lucky sitting at 4.4. So we get into the 6th round. And again, just overall very healthy stuff on the side. Almanac deciding not to buy all the nades. Not going to buy a flash, no Molotov, even though he's sitting at 1,600. A little bit greedy. Kenny goes for the aggressive peek. Sprout up the tempo.
Yeah, change and pace this time. They start to make their way in. It is going to be Kenny S sitting on the back of the site. AWP looks back through. A shot coming through though. Kenny under a lot of pressure, has to fall back over towards long. Lucky has to step up inside the site, gets 1 kill, but the flash is good, and Keto will pick him up with a deagle. So the rest of Sprout starting their approach in towards the A-bomb side. Shots holds off the cross. Multiple players coming in towards him, and it's another headshot coming in on the deagle. Kenny S just missing shots left, right, and center at this point. Amanek luckily able to sweep it up, gets the 2 kills back. So it's into the 2v2. Jax with 1 as well. And, well, Kenny S was under a lot of pressure there. Didn't really handle it too well.
Wow. Mirbit dropping the ball a little bit there. Got the drop on Jax. Could have potentially sent them into a 2v1. Instead, it's going to be Faven left struggling for answers. Bomb is dropped on site, so he's going to have to make his way back there eventually. 40 seconds left on the clock. He's not going to opt to actually pick up a weapon either. Positioning from Almanac shows to be superior. And the quick flank from him is really going to be the difference maker in that round. Good stuff overall from G2. Even though they do sustain a bit of a loss there. Going down with 3 players. Sprout turning up with a new buy here. It's not going to be double ops or anything of the sorts. Searson is the only one to rock it so far. Just going to see if he's going to find some success so far. Kenny has been pretty on point early on. Failed Molotov from Almanac. It's going to allow for Searson to waddle up towards playground.
Well, Amanek with utility coming in has segregated off the connector. He can hold that down for a little bit while the smoke is still up, but eventually when it starts to fade, he's going to be under a little bit more pressure with the player on the other end of it. Kenny has pushed up through the toilets. Faven starting to come towards this position. If he goes around this side, though, this could be the kill. Spots Kenny. Oh, so quick. Kenny with a kill still comes through. And we'll be into the 5v4. Jack's picking one up on the speedy. Vaquito coming in with a double kill. That pulls things right back. Even odds yet again. And a minute left on the clock. Sprout, do they want to go in towards the B-bomb site? The bomb's all the way back over towards spawn, though.
Yeah, seemingly forgotten about it so far. Oh, Mirbit's going to take a lot of damage. It's a headshot from Shocks with that AUG. He's going to push forward, see if he can actually find Mirbit to close him out.
Oh, there we go. Mirbit just holding the crouch button, comes over the top, looks and finds the head of Shocks. So it is the man advantage for Sprout. They've recovered the bomb as well. And they're heading back in towards the B bomb site. Kenny S eventually will rotate over to look over the top of Heaven, but the smoke comes in just at that time. And so at this point, G2 forced to go through, and it will be Kenny picking up the first kill. The bomb has still not yet been planted. Kenny is going for the spam. It's the shot landing. Amanek able to pick it up as well, and Kenny S finishes off the job. Headshot there. And that was just a very confident retake.
Of all the shots Kenny's meant to land, that last one was a dirty, dirty one. Starting to anger Anders, you can tell by how he's spamming that box, not doing it correctly, but makes up for it. So G2 hold on, 5-2. Even though there is a bomb plant coming in from Sprout, it's not what they need at this point. Gonna have enough money to buy. They can rummage around a little bit. Keto could potentially drop a op for Searson. That's gonna leave him on no or light Kevlar. See if that's gonna be the play for the German side. So far, though, G2 feeling pretty comfortable about how this match is unfolding.
Yeah, 5 rounds in a row. The only rounds they ended up losing were the first 2, the pistol and the follow-up. So G2 have been in the driver's seat here on the CT side of Overpass.
Yeah, absolutely so. And Dico, did you know that on CSGO.net there are discounts and new cases happening every week?
I did not.
No, and if you did not know that, you should hurry up. And you know what's pretty cool right now is that there's a special code in play. That code is Cologne, all capital letters, which can get you 30% bonus to top you up. So definitely check that out. Again, we're going to see this Molotov coming up. This time it actually lands, so improvement on the side of G2. And Kenny's just going to ball through together with Omnic, and that's going to net them 1 kill, make that 2.
This is just mental.
Gotta love the aggression then coming out of the French. Also put Sprout on a bit of a back foot here. They don't really know what to do with this.
It's kind of like you've just been slapped up the face. You're completely confused and dazed. You have no idea what's going on.
And by the time they really get to their senses, it's a pretty dire situation to wake up to. 2v4, no map control gained, and a lot of work to be done.
Well, Mearbit and Spitty, they've got to pull off the near impossible at this point. 2v4, minute on the clock. No map control really available to them at this point. "50 seconds. Mearbit starting to make his way through the connector, clearing it bit by bit, making sure that they have got a little bit of map control to work with. They have to go for this. Sprout have not yet found a round since the first 2, so getting a round win is incredibly important. Although Kenny S back towards the bank, they have another play inside of the bomb site itself. It's going to be very difficult for Sprout to make this happen.
Smokes come out, so going to be a bit of a telegraphed play from Sprout. It's also going to make the B defenders push up for the backstab, so time is ticking.
Mearbit has got shocked. The flank coming in from Lucky is there. He'll get a double kill, and that's as easy as it comes for G2. 6 in a row. This is starting to look a little bit more one-sided. We kind of talked about on Dust 2 how the so the first half was it was 10-5, but we felt like it was a lot closer. And here are the odds. They were close at the start of things here by GG.bet.
They were.
They're starting to sort of go downhill for Sprout.
Yeah, G2 showing dominance so far. That's why they're sitting at 1.17 in odds, favoring the map. Sprouts 4.57 to bring it all back, if you're to believe the odds. We'll see, though. Again, bit of a half buy coming in from Sprout. Deagles, CZs, PT50s, and a fair bit of utility. Been able to get up to Fountain at least without taking casualties. That's an improvement from the last couple of rounds.
Yeah, they haven't been pushed just yet. G2 realize they're probably going up against a weaker buy, so they're going to try and use the long-range advantage.
And again, it's that 3-man setup. Omnic, final one. Widely sprays on. Luckily, Kenny's there to sure up things.
Well, Kenny looking back in towards middle. Notices another player there, but that shot went through his legs. He's able to pick it up with a USP, and the pressure is there from Kenny and Shocks. They get it done again, and G2 in control. But here comes Sprout. Another buy on the table. Another chance for them to turn this one around. Yeah.
It's going to need to happen soon, though, if you're Sprout. G2 are starting to run away with it. And CT side, when G2 were playing against Force earlier on in the Invitational, that was what was looking to be their weak side. So, well, you're starting to lose legs to stand on if you're Sprout at this point. It doesn't really help that Kenny's currently sitting on 14-3.
Yeah, that's definitely a really solid performance coming in from Kenny early. And Mearbit making his way through the smoke inside of the tunnel. I wanted to go fast up towards short, but the Molotov was there, so has to sit back and water.
Another issue that G2 found themselves having versus Force, which is not being able to get first kills. Just these openings to the round a lot of the time, and well, that's definitely not been an issue so far. I'm starting to trying to rack my brain as to when Sprout actually got an opening. It's kind of hard to find the answers, as you can see. Lucky and Jax playing so aggressively.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a hole, Amanek.
Yeah.
This is a solid position. He's going to come in towards long.
He's going to find the timing.
Multiple players, they line them up. There's the first. Oh, but Keto comes in from behind at the right time. Amanek will hit the deck. It's into a 2v4. Chance still alive for Sprout. If Amanek had found 2 there, then it was pretty much over.
That's very true. It's still looking pretty tough for Sprout here. 2 players stuck over towards long, and well, they know where both of them are. Nades come over as they hope for the best. Flash is not going to affect Shocks. Kenny posted up in a crossfire as well.
Well, Searson needs to pull off the clutch, but very well played there from G2, playing off each other very solidly. It'll be 8 in a row from them, already winning the half. This is definitely a great performance from G2.
Yeah, ramping up form when they need to, getting into the playoff stages, and obviously you want to be at peak performance at this stage of the tournament.
Yeah, they're definitely a dark horse in this tournament. You know, if you look at the two teams that were first invited, Liquid and G2, you just go, okay, Liquid should be the team that makes Cologne. That's what everyone just keeps saying that. But G2 are a team that might cause a couple of problems for them.
It can definitely do so, especially if they have players firing off on all cylinders. Kenny doesn't seem to be missing shots right now. We know what he can do, well, to pretty much any team in the world once he feels it. And Jax, well, he's been having a good time with getting aggressive, and he's going to find one at the very least. Gets taken out by Faven. To move in towards the B-bomb site.
Well, at least they clean it up. G2 getting it done again, and it's all over. Shocks, easy triple kill collected, and that was probably the strangest position I've ever seen. Jack's just in Monster, so many players running at him, and he just starts wildly spraying, hoping they can get something done.
Yeah, he had a plan of staying aggressive, really.
Yeah.
Just wrong place at the wrong time. But there you have it. Still works out for G2 in the end.
Yeah, well, if you guys are interested in heading over to csgo.net, use the code Cologne, you might get yourself a 30% bonus on your balance and a chance to win some cool skins.
Worth doing so. Celebrate the potential victory for G2 if you're a G2 fan. See what it plays out to. And ooh, Kenny finally, well, meeting some resistance there. Taking a pot shot to the leg. That's roughly 80 HP removed on him, but he's still alive, so still a threat.
Yeah.
Dominic also posted up pretty far forward in restrooms. We've seen him do this in pistol round as well, having a lot of success with it.
This angle scares me though. When I play this angle, it's
I die from balloons 100% of the time.
Yeah, me too. Well, Dominic, luckily there's no one coming towards balloons, and he gets the kill off towards long. Favin, he will fall, and yet again, it's the man advantage early for G2. They haven't been able to find that opening pick. They came close to it, Sprout, this round, but still not enough.
Now, can Kenny find more? He gets splashed off the angle. Timely. Might have actually saved his life as well. Speedy. A little bit inside the smoke, not really able to gain any ground. The rest of his team is moving up towards long, though. There's 3 players on the side of G2 here, though, so they've got the right stack or the right read on what's going on.
It seems like they've done that as well, like pretty much every time. They've had the stack of players over towards the bomb site where Sprout want to finish, but missed shot from Kenny S, a little bit unorthodox. He's going to go back again though. He doesn't miss twice. Another one coming in from Kenny, and he could finish it off, but Mirbit close by, able to pick that kill through. And so Mirbit is into the 1v3. 15 seconds left to try and make this happen for Sprout. He'll look back towards long. The kill's there. Has to try and recover the bomb. He's on 1 HP. Barely alive.
Takes a little bit too long together at the bomb, and Lucky's going to be at the right place at the right time to find him. Double figures, or double digits for G2 already, 10-2. This is becoming a very one-sided affair.
Especially since the 10 rounds they've won have been in a row.
Yeah, it's it was the pistol round and the one conversion from Sprout, and that was it. Haven't really seen a whole lot from them after that point.
Yeah, the T side doesn't look too solid here on Overpass. I think they definitely look a little bit more lost than they were on Dust 2.
I think that's very fair to say. Again, Kenny. Not lacking for confidence. And Jax, again, seemingly like this spot. Well,
the déjà vu. But this time he gets a double headshot. That's why you play that angle. Jack's able to get 2 kills. He goes back for a little bit more. And I think Sprout at this point realize there's nowhere we can go. We go towards A, we get shut down. We go towards B, we end up getting shut down. At this point, Sprout, you just have to be wondering what they can do.
Cross your fingers and hope for the best, I guess. And that's what Searson does as he walks through the smoke, and Lucky is going to find a second frag as well.
I think G2 just emptied Sprout without seeing a single player.
It feels that way, doesn't it?
I literally think they didn't see anyone. It was just through the smokes the entire round.
Not a bad go of it. And well, that pause is probably needed to calm your mental state if you're Sprout right now. Again, it feels like they're running into a brick wall no matter where they try to show up on the map. And again, I can't wait to see how many actual opening kills they've gotten this game, because it feels like it would be, I could count it definitely on one hand. That's for sure.
Yeah, they have been pretty unsuccessful in finding that opening pick, and even when they get the AWP on the Sears, and you think maybe there's a chance they can use that AWP to find it, they come close, but they end up getting a leg shot onto Kenny. So unfortunate, but Kenny's got 16k in the bank.
Yeah, G2 are just having a laugh right now. Apparently, throughout this game, to this stage, they've gotten a single opening kill.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's Mirbit's work. Otherwise than that, everyone on the side of G2 just flawless to open things up. And well, I guess it's kind of telling when you look at the score as well. They definitely need to bring back the last 2 rounds here of the first half if you want to have a hope of this. G2 just looking so solid.
Yeah, 11-4 is a scoreline you can sometimes see comebacks happen from. Less often a 12-3 half, so, or even worse than that, 13-2, but we'll see if they can get anything done. Mirbit is going to pick up Lucky on the CZ75. Shocks over towards Connected, but it's Amanek who gets a triple kill. That's all the players just falling, and the chances of Sprout are completely gone. Seriously comes in for 1, but it's again G2 with another.
Shock's just taking the attention of everyone down in water as Amanek comes running through. Nets himself 3 kills. That's what you like to see from G2 again. You've talked about it. They're playing off of each other really, really well so far on the CT side. There's never really any gaps in their defense. So even though Lucky goes down, that creates an opening for Amanek and Shocks to really, really put the pressure on Sprout. Going into the last round of the first half, it's looking grim. Here we go. The monster smoke down. Nice and early.
That's why I love Overpass. I love the kind of smokes you can do. You just throw it over the other side of the map.
Yeah. You can definitely get creative with it, which is what you like to see.
Well, Sprout go into the slow default. I think at this point it's just, can we get an opening pick? Is there any god up there that can get us this kill? It's been so unfortunate for them. Mirbit's just kind of been sitting towards B a lot in this default though, not really doing a whole lot.
Yeah, just kind of hanging out, making sure nobody pushes through. I guess with the way Jax has been playing that monster area, it's justified. Again, though, opening frag, G2, been the name of the game the entire time, and Kenny S is going to follow up on that. What do you do if you're Sprout in this situation?
I don't think there's much you can do. Lucky's just going to sit on Optimus, gets himself 1. That'll be Favin finished off. Amanek able to pick up Mirbit. And Siriusson again left in an impossible clutch with Shocks finishing off the job. 13-2 at the half from G2. We said on Dust 2, okay, 10-5, it wasn't that one-sided.
Nope.
This time, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, we can't really brush that under a carpet or anything to the likings. Speedy, he went from having a pretty solid performance over on Dust 2, 27 frags to his name, definitely leading the charge for Sprout, not having the best of times now. To be fair, though, nobody really on the side of Sprout is having a lot of fun right now.
No. I think, obviously, it's not looking too great. Well, look at those odds.
Yeah,
those odds have just fallen off a cliff for Sprout.
GT have no faith.
Yeah, at the start of this, it was like a 0.2 or something, like 0.02 difference, and now it's literally impossible. So that's the odds brought to you by GG.bet. Seriously, going for the aggressive play in the pistol on it will result in a kill from Kenny S. Favin and Keto standing tall for Sprout, but Kenny S is still here on the clock. Shocks is inside of the B bomb site. Jax has got himself a collective frag, and that is it. G2 win the pistol. 14-2.
And when you think back to it, the 2 rounds that Sprout won, the pistol was a 2v4 that they had to salvage. So if you look at it, if you play a lot of these rounds over, 10 times, G2 probably favored to win each and every single one of them.
And probably be a 16-0 realistically on the cards at this point.
It's been that dramatic, and what a turnaround from G2 from what we saw versus Force on their first group stage day. This has been a completely different beast. Everyone on the side chipping in, playing really well for themselves. And Sprout, what do you do? You have to force up, but...
Well, they've won these rounds on Dust 2, so hopefully there's a chance here on Overpass.
You do cross your fingers and, well, bite your nails if you're a Sprout fan.
G2 fans will be very happy, though. This is definitely been a great turnaround, like you said. G2 sometimes don't have the greatest performances in tournaments, but this is stellar.
Very much so is. Serson with that scout. Did wreak some havoc earlier on Dust 2. Is not going to be able to find the immediate kill on Kenny, but does tag him up. You'll take those trades. At this point, you take anything, really, if you're Sprout. I see the boost coming in from Shocks. To find anyone towards barrels. not going to find anyone. He might see the back of the player towards the pillar if he scooches back a little bit.
I think that dropping in the water is actually audible to the players inside the B-bomb site. So
it definitely is.
They'll get that information, but it doesn't really matter here because G2 are just going to run in with strength in numbers. They'll try and drop the players here, but it's Spitty with the first pick. Mirabit is still inside of the smoke. They have no ideas here, so he's just going to play this, but the headshot comes in from Lucky. Unfortunate times here, but Searson eventually gets the reward for his work on the scout, but it is all falling apart here. Only 2 players left, but G2 are rather low. The Pistols could have got it done. Of Kenny taking that headshot. It's all on Aikido.
It's a little bit labored take, but G2 get the bomb down. 2v1 situation. As you said, though, pretty heavy damage sustained from G2, so a Deagle can do a ton of damage.
Taking these 2 kills, though, when they're right beside each other is going to be so difficult. He has to land them very quickly, and Shox will take him away. It's map and series point for G2, and it's also a final point. You know, they will reach the grand final.
What are really doing after this matchup, which is very much looking like it's going to be G2's. We're going to see who can actually become their opponent, whether it's going to be the favorites Team Liquid or if it's going to be the tournament surprise so far, Force, to duke it out for a Cologne spot. That would have been quite the fairy tale story if Force as a replacement team would actually end up coming into Cologne.
Yeah.
And they would have earned it as well. It's no easy matches here so far. Again, best of 3s through and through. Like, you've been the better team throughout the qualifier, if that is to be the case. But, again, time will tell. We'll get there eventually. For now, though, it's all about Sprout's potential last stand.
Well, they come into their possible last run with the Deagles in play on 3 players. And all for Spitty, everything they could possibly get. And a bit of aggression working this time. That's an opening kill for Sprout. I think they're second of the game, maybe? Time to pop open a bottle of champagne, but it's not open. It's not long-lived as Shox comes in with the trade back into a 4v4.
It's going to get a return, though, so survives on 19 HP, and Keto is bringing it back as well, so finally a doable situation for Sprout here. Still man advantage. That's just going to be increased as well. It's all on Jax. Can he be the hero? We've seen a fair few clutches go in the way of G2 already. There is 2 pretty heavily damaged players on the side of Sprout.
So Keto was cutting off the connector. I didn't see if he's actually pushed up the ladder. He could come in from behind.
He's heard this. Now you've got 3 different pressure points for Jax to deal with, and he probably has not a single clue of any of them, really. Can expect probably 1 player to be towards the B-bomb site, but there's no way you should be expecting Keto to be here.
Yeah, he hasn't even looked behind. Hasn't even considered it as an option. And Keto will pick himself up the headshot. Another run on the board for Sprout, but still a long way to go.
That's an understatement, if anything. There we have it, 13-5 for Sprout. But as you said, one of the very few rounds where they get an opening kill and they're actually able to convert off of it. So got to be happy about that at least. And G2, they're going to, not surprisingly, buy into this, even though they do have limited funds. They have so much of a cushion to work with here that I think they just want to look to close it out as quickly as possible. Searson waiting for the flash. Never comes through because G2 have set their eyes on that B-bomb site, at least water control for now.
Yeah, G2 need to be careful not to take the foot off the gas, because obviously at this point they think it's over already. But if you allow them to come back in a few rounds, the game can be pulled back. So Shox makes his way in towards the B-bomb site. It'll be Mirabit picking that up, but here comes the play from G2. No, actually, they decide to fall away from Monster.
Yeah, they got scared. Have to picked up the AK that wasn't Shox, though. It's in the hands of Kenny. Now they're going to regroup. They might actually turn tail and move over towards B, but they're going to boost first. Actually, it's going to be Omnic to find the first up towards B from G2. Oh, the flash. That saves Faven.
That was definitely going to be a kill there from Kenny. The flash bite, keeping the chances of Sprout alive here. Kenny just waiting for someone to overextend.
I might wait out the smoke to see if anyone's behind barrels. G2 pretty much have all the time in the world, so they're not going to unnecessarily force anything. Lucky making his way around. It's picked up in Mac 10 too.
Well, at least to get the information, there could be a player in towards water here on the CT side. Pistol trying to take the long-range fight against the AK up towards Heaven. Faven on 23 HP inside of the water pit, but the bomb has got planted here from G2. They've made their way into the bomb site, I know it has to be the 3v4. The retake from Sprout needs to happen as they start to come on through. Faven close by. He's got Keto with backup as they start to make their way through. G2 just holding their post plants, biding their time, but Mirabit comes in with a double kill. It's all on to Kenny S to try and make a 1v4 happen. He looks away, and that'll be it. That'll be the round coming through for Sprout. It'll be 4 on the board.
Well, finally made it happen, I guess. 2 rounds in a row. First time we can say that since pistol round of the first half. G2 do get a bomb plant, though, so it's not all bad for them. Really hoping that we're not going to see another force buy.
Yes, please, just half buy or don't buy.
Yeah, don't buy. I think that's the safe way to go about it, even though it is kind of tempting with how many rounds you have to play with, but...
I mean, they could just pick up 1 or 2 deagles, no Kevlar.
Yeah. That would be acceptable, I think. But once you start investing into Kevlar and then maybe nade here and there, yeah, all of a sudden a lot of your funds go by the wayside. Well, we'll see, though. I don't think G2 are feeling too much of a pressure on them right now. Sprout, on the other hand, very different situation. Can't make a single mistake, and if they do, it's end of their tournament life. Chances of going to Cologne, which obviously would have been a massive thing for a German team.
Yeah. They do that thing, though, the Meisterschaft. They do have generally like a show match at Cologne, right?
Oh, right. Yeah, that's fair.
They had that last year where they had 2 German teams play the finals of Meisterschaft at Cologne. I don't know if they're going to do that again this year, but that was pretty cool.
Time will tell. Jax is going to get mauled down by Mirabit through the smoke.
Yeah, and Faven lining them up. 2 coming in, looking for a triple. There it is. Shock's the last man standing. Making his way close towards the barrels with the deagle. He's taking damage through the smoke as well. They know he's around this area, and there is Faven. Good run from him, a quad kill. Boosting the stats a little bit, getting some great eco frags. And that'll be a 3-round streak coming in from Sprout. The first time we've seen that.
Yeah. So it might be the start of something. We'll see if it's the start of a comeback or just a way of prettying up the score. We're going to see a buy on the side of G2. So immediately that task gets a lot tougher. I mean, at this point, I can't imagine that the odds would have changed much at all. G2 just 1 step away from securing their spot in the finals.
It's kind of the final we're expecting to see is obviously G2 and Liquid when we come into this tournament.
Yep.
Looking likely we've got one of the 2 teams into it.
Well, Sprout playing a bit of tag team action on both sides of the map, actually. Over towards long with a double setup, and same thing on short initially. Over towards B.
They've got Mirabit alongside Faven towards the short area. Maybe it's just staying here. Going for the Sprite, able to pick up Shocks, and an opening kill goes in favor of Sprout yet again. Another one being added to their collection, but under a minute left, G2 are going to have to try and find an answer.
Being able to find these kind of openings without taking damage, really, really big for Sprout.
Well, Amanek coming on in. It's going to be Kenny S with a headshot on the Faven. Amanek looking for another. He'll pick up Mirabit, and they'll be into the 4v3 man advantage back with G2 as they will get that bomb planted. This might just be it as Spiddy is looking over the top of heaven, looking for a mistake from G2. A player to walk into towards his crosshair. But the Frenchmen, when they've got the bomb planted, they've got their post plants, there's no real need to. They just have to wait for Sprout to come to them. Speedy drops off of heaven. Checks the corners, making his way back in. Time starting to tick. They're going to have to make this little bit quicker. It's going to be a kill from Lucky falling apart here. But Spiddy has got one on Amanek. The time so far, though. Spiddy taps the bomb, trying to get them into the open. Has to stick it. There's the kill from Sirius, but it is over. 16-5 from G2. And they are first